In this lesson we're going to introduce the number e, and then in doing so we're going to go over some features of the graphing calculator. First of all, to find a number e on the graphing calculator, you would hit the second button and then the division symbol, and there's the number e. If you hit enter, that'll give you the value for e. Another way to get the value for e is to hit the second button and then the ln button. The ln button stands for natural log, which is log base e. So I'm going to hit that button, and that gives me e raised to a power. I'll type in a power of 1, which should give me just e, and it does. So let me write that down. The value of e equals 2.718, and I'll stop at the thousands place. Now this function right here, if you let n get large, this function will approach the value of e. So let's type this function in the calculator and see if that's true. I'll hit y equals, and then parentheses 1 plus 1 divided by n, and I'll use an x for n, and then it's raised to the n. Again, I'll use x for that. Now as x gets large, the value of this function approaches e, which would be 2.718. Well, I can visually see this by using the table. Hit the second function and then graph, and this is your table. And when I work with a table, I like to actually change the setting on it. So I'm going to hit the second button again and the window. That gives me table set, and I'm going to set it where it'll ask me to input values for x. So arrow down, see it's on auto right now. I'll arrow over to ask, hit enter, and now if I hit the table, hit second graph, table function, I can actually input values for x. If I input a 1 in for x, I'll have 1 divided by 1, which is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 raised to the first power give me 2. So let's see if it works, and there it is. So as x gets large, this is supposed to go to 2.718 and so on. So let's go ahead and type in another value. Let's let x equal 5. It's getting closer. Let's let x equal 10. It's getting closer. How about 100? There you go, 2.7. So it's getting real close now. If I do 1,000, it's getting even closer. Let's do 10,000. There, you can see it's real close. Now e is an irrational number. This decimal, if I arrow over, this decimal right here, which e is a decimal that never repeats and never ends. It's an irrational number. Let's go ahead and graph this. So I'll go back to y equals. To graph it, I want to change my window. I started at 1. Let's just let x start at 0. And I'm only going to go to show what's going on here, I'm just going to let x go to 20. And y values, I'll let my y start at 0. And then we know it's going to go up to e, which is 2.718. So let's just let y go to 3. And if I graph this, you can see as x gets larger, the y value is flattening out. It's approaching some value. So let's go ahead and hit y equals, arrow down. Let's type in a second function, and let's let y sub 2 equal e itself. So I hit second, division, enter, and let's go ahead and graph this. And there you can see that this function that we typed in originally is going to the value of e. Now let's look at a problem with the if you invested $10,000 for 40 years and it grew at 12% interest compounded continuously, how much money would you have at the end of those 40 years? It's a great problem to do on the calculator and to use the number E. So let's go back to our home screen, hit second quit, and clear that out. So I'm going to take $10,000, which is my principal, and I'm going to multiply that times E. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to use this one, second natural log, because I'm taking E to a power, and it's the rate, which is 0.12 times 40 years. So how much do you think $10,000 is going to grow to, earning 12% interest for 40 years? That's $1,215,104. Now, a real neat feature of the grapher is if you hit second enter, it'll scroll back through what you previously typed in. And then you can go up and use your arrow keys, and I can edit this. So I'm going to go over to the 12% interest right here, and I'll change this to 8%. So how much would $10,000 grow to after 40 years earning 8%? Hit enter, and it'd be $245,325. So interest makes a big difference. And another thing that makes a difference you can go and play with is the number of years. What if you left it for 50 years? Or what if you left it for 60 years? It's a real quick, easy way to see how important investing is and how much bearing interest has on it, and also time.